Hello, welcome everybody, welcome back. If you already met me via some of my videos, and I'm happy to have you here. If you are a new visitor, welcome to my tribe. Today we have how to say that, a little bit new from the speaker perspective, but definitely not new guest, because you can already find video with Alex Hardt on my YouTube channel. Today, Alex will be speaking to me about, I hope, a very, very interesting topic. Before we deep dive, Alex, thank you for inviting yourself or accepting my invitation. I don't know
Yes.
how should I translate it. Well, first I invited you, then you digested and you came with amazing topic
Yeah.
with responding to my previous invitation. So that's why I'm saying that in that way. I'm happy we made it. I'm happy you are here. So I hope we will have a very, very good conversation today.
Me too. Thank you for your invitation. It's true, it took a while. Last time I remember I interviewed you, and
Yes,
now we take a turn and you interview me. Isn't it?
yes, that's
Great.
correct.
Yes.
That's correct. Okay, Alex,
Yes.
could you please introduce yourself, especially because some of the people might not know
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
What we should know about you?
Hmm. Okay. I'm also a professional Scrum trainer at scrum.org. I had my 10-year anniversary recently.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm based in Germany. And as we are talking about AI, that is our topic here. Um, since July or last year, I facilitated around 25 classes, and I recognize some patterns that we will discuss here. I might be a bit in the German bubble, but Joanna, you also have some experience from your classes and from your market and so on. Um, yeah, and we have a lot of this agile is dead and so on, this kind of stuff. I would somehow say, yes, this agile transformation wave is cooling down, and it looks like there is a bigger wave coming. So kind of AI transformation, let's say. And
Hmm.
I'm excited about this. And beside my Scrum stuff, Agile stuff, I'm working more also with AI practitioner since around 3 years, and I'm building a system for myself as a solopreneur, and I'm supporting other solopreneurs building their system.
That definitely sounds very interesting. Thank you. If you are not familiar with trainings that Alex mentioned, Scrum.org so far um, prepared, published, made available two courses. The first one is called PSPO AI Essentials, which means artificial intelligence in the context of product ownership. And the second one, I believe it was released this year, so it's still relatively new, Professional Scrum Master AI Essentials. So one may say a corresponding class that is teaching Scrum Masters foundations of AI and how they can, I strongly believe they should, leverage AI to make their work more effective. So Alex has great experience with those classes. I do too have this experience. I'm teaching both, and we are also going to speak today about our experience when it comes to these classes. Speaking about classes, Alex, what is a typical participant when it comes to AI classes? How would you describe
Oh,
the level of skills, knowledge of such person?
okay, as I said, I'm talking about bit about my bubble in Germany. You also can reflect your experience. Not only from my experience from the classes or what I hear from other people. I don't have concrete numbers, but I would say kind of 80% coming to the class, their literacy is low and the organizations start using some kind of chatbot.
Okay.
And then there are around 10%, let's say, okay, I'm not allowed to do anything, but I'm interested what I could do when I can do. And then the other 10% or maybe a bit less even, so they are more open and free what they can do, so they can use better models, I would say, and more a bigger tool stack and so on.
Okay.
And what's
And
your
how would you,
experience? Oh, sorry.
no problem.
Yeah.
And how would you describe their level of skills? What do they know? How do they interact with the tools that they have?
Yeah, primarily, they're using it as a chatbot
Mm-hmm.
and they're missing a lot of context.
Okay.
And it's kind of hop on, hop off.
Okay.
And for a lot of them, they also not have kind of what you typically have in this LLMs like Claude or ChatGPT. You have at least this project context where you can add
Mm-hmm.
files or you can connect MCP servers to your Google Drive or OneDrive or whatever you have. And most people are also not aware of this.
Okay.
So they are, let's say, beginners, yeah, beginner state really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it feels like very simple prompting, just a simple prompt, you get the answer and boom, you're out.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Well, I observe a lot of what you just described, but I also hear from more and more people that things are available in the companies. For instance, I saw examples of special agreement with Microsoft, for instance,
Yeah.
and I know that the company can create environment uh, where their employees can safely use, for instance, Copilot
Yeah.
for different job purposes, and thanks to that agreement, it's relatively safe. So things are becoming possible, but some of the people, in my experience, they even don't know how interesting questions they may ask themselves and then leverage AI to build ideas, solutions, experiments when
Uh-huh.
it comes to AI. It's more like, okay, I don't understand what is technical debt, AI explain, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes a huge change happens when you show them even certain principles how you can do it better. But when you go into this concept that you mentioned, so building a context engineering, that is actually changing for them a lot. To be fair, sometimes people come to the class and they actually know the concept. So it's not common, definitely low percentage, but some of the participants say, okay, I'm using skills in Claude.
Uh-huh.
Ah, okay, it is about context setting, right? Or somebody in one of my PSPO classes showed that she has already projects. It is allowed to use projects in her company in ChatGPT, uh, but still sometimes you even don't know how to build that context to
Yeah.
help you become
Yeah.
more effective.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have this EU AI Act now, and it's obligatory to train the people. And it's interesting to see. So not a lot of companies, I think, are really training their people. and using these tools fluently so they can leverage these tools.
Mm, definitely. Alex, speaking about that, what we just made transparent, a lot of people don't know the difference. So I have this chatbot tool style like
Yeah,
Gemini, Claude without any extensions, ChatGPT. I just open the tool, right,
yeah,
and I talk to it, right.
yeah.
Uh, what is prompting and what is context engineering?
Good question. So prompting in general, I would say basically it's how I communicate with the LLM, the system, the chatbot, let's say, or any
Mm-hmm.
other AI that I would define as prompting. And you can do this more or less sophisticated. So maybe you write a mega prompt of 4 pages, or you only give some comments, uh, and a lot of,
Mm-hmm.
and not a lot of the context you could give in the prompt also. So I'm a product owner, help me as and this is a problem, and that is a background, and I want this in this and that style, the output, and so on. So it could give a lot of context within the prompt, but then it's still, you have to prompt it every time. Then you would need a prompt library or templates also, and over a short period of time, I would say that gets a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And then context engineering is more, yeah, you have the context, so your specific criteria of who you are and what you want, and your customers, and your organization and your values and all these kind of things on your system, on your local system typically. And then the LLM can read this context when you ask a question, and then you get an answer based on your context, so based on the specific information you have already in the system. And then you can also connect this information, and then the fun really begins, because then you get specific answers. So when you don't have so much context about you, your organization, your team, and so on, you get kind of answers everyone gets. And the more
Mm-hmm.
context you give to the system about yourself, the more specific the system can answer you.
Hmm. So, is this solution, context engineering, is it a response to a, in my experience, quite common question? Okay, I asked AI, it always has some answers, but they seem so generic that, okay, nice, fun, but I can do it on my own. I can do it better.
Could be, could be. Or then what also happens that I see that people then say, okay, AI is not good, still not good enough. Let's forget about this. But
Mm,
but when you have some kind of, okay, when you are interested in using it, I would say that this then is a natural next step. And we have this rack systems. No? That is a
mm-hmm,
term that we often hear for already a few years or so, let's say. No? But I would say this data is more unstructured. And then recently we had these tools, these coding tools like Claude Code or Cortex, or we have Gemini CLI, these kind of tools. People found out they are not only for developers, they are extremely powerful also for this context engineering, because then you can communicate with the LLM and then directly save the information on your drive, so that next time you have the information already saved and don't need to rewrite everything in your prompt.
okay,
And then the system grows and learns with every conversation that you take with the system.
okay. So would you say that such system has a certain memory, and with every interactions that you have, it can learn about your context even better, and thanks to that you can expect maybe even better responses in the future?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Um, when it comes to Scrum, we are speaking about the teams, right?
Yes.
So, Alex, you mentioned that you are solopreneur. You are supporting other people in a similar situation.
Yeah.
But what about teams? Is this also applicable for teams like Scrum teams?
Yes. I think so. That is also applicable for Scrum teams, and it would be super helpful also for Scrum teams. Imagine you record every session that you have within the Scrum team. You log every decision you take in the Scrum team. The working agreements are all in the system. The product goal is in the system, the vision and all what you know about the product is in the system,
Mm-hmm.
or you would get much better information out of the system. And it would extremely help you, for example, finding patterns and optimizing the way you're working, I would say. Yeah. And it can also remember what you said, no? And what happened. And it also would be helpful if people are not there, so they could sink into the system. Well, there are so much opportunities what you would have then.
Okay. Can you give a more specific example, especially in the context of Scrum? What can become possible with such system? And it will be much, much easier when we when we leverage AI.
Okay, really thinking into the future. And before I explain that, what could be possible, there's some kind of disclaimer. What is another problem, I would say. So
Okay.
there is a difference between data security, I would say, and information security. So information security is what I feel secure to share with the system, with the AI. And also, this information I share with an AI is recorded and it would be there for everyone to use, kind of. And the first issue is here a lot of people don't feel safe actually to do this. But imagine everyone would do this and the system would know how everyone ticks and also know about the stakeholders, how they tick and what they prefer and their communication style and how they want to communicate and what information they want and so on. And then you could specifically for any stakeholder using the right messaging and delivering the right information at the right time to these stakeholders. That would be much easier. Or you're having an internal team conflict, imagine, and then the AI knows the personality of the people. Well, I think it would give amazing tips on how to improve the team and the team dynamics.
Mm. Like an extra super advisor in your
Yeah,
context.
kind of.
Mm.
Uh,
Thank you. Thank you very much for these examples. Now, you mentioned already one of the challenges related to security. Um, what's the biggest challenge for individuals and for the teams, in your experience, of course, when it comes to building such system, when it comes to building the context that can support them better?
the first thing, what we said in the beginning, so most teams not even have the tools. Then the second thing is if they would have the tools, they would need a working agreement. so that they feel safe, psychologically safe to use this to give this information into the system, and then to use this system into the information, and that is clear where are the boundaries where the information won't go. So probably it's not a good idea then. We said, for example, the retrospective is a safe room. So it's probably not a good idea then to give these recordings of the retrospective to the manager, for example. Makes sense.
Definitely.
No? Yeah, so you need kind of an
Definitely.
agreement. That I would say. And you definitely also remember this from your agile transformation area. So there are people, they are enthusiastic about these new possibilities and these new ways of working, and there are people that don't want to work in this new way of working.
Indeed.
And this time you also have these people, of course. And this time I think the challenge is even bigger, because the one thing is, oh, I don't want to work in this way of working. And the other thing I see in the background is this fear, oh, the AI will take over my job in the future. And then I can imagine that a lot more people are skeptical about AI than there were people about agile, because they're coming these two things together.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't heard people saying in the past, Agile will take my job.
No, yeah, it was only, no, I don't like this. No, I want
Yeah,
to work on my own.
yeah.
Yeah,
Old rules worked. Why changes, right?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, and then when we think about this, they might could work on their own, work with their own AI, but it would be better if we integrate an AI as a partner, as a new team member in our team, and share information with this team member. And same with Agile, we need to be all on the same track what is going on. So communication and collaboration, that's key.
And we're
Uh,
going back to Agile Manifesto.
yes, yeah,
Hmm?
yeah,
So
yeah. And as you talk about the Agile Manifesto, so what I think is also very important. So we have this communication and collaboration, isn't it? Over process and tool. Or is it different?
it was individuals and interactions over
Individuals and interactions.
processes and tools.
Yes, okay, okay. So it doesn't help to see AI as a tool. I would say it's much more important you see it as an infrastructure, something that you build around what you're doing, and not
Okay.
only using it as an assistant, let's say.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what I hear from you that it is actually about a shift in perspective when it comes to the change that is happening, whether we want it or not. AI is used heavily in different places, and companies already started. Many of them started at least considering how to use that. Okay. So is it still a skills problem, mindset problem, culture problem, organizational problem? What is blocking us when it comes to using
Yeah,
AI?
a combination of all of this, I would say. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And Alex, I have another challenge. I hope you will provide us with some words of wisdom. A lot of people are still busy. Work, meetings, business as usual, delivering commitments,
yeah,
goals, expectations, right?
uh-huh,
And now you are coming to them with
yeah,
the statement, you have to build a system. And they say, we don't have time for that.
yeah.
How would you respond to it?
Okay, over time you get time, I would say, no? And that is what I also saw with my system. And that is typically the same with everything, or when you start something new, you need to go deep, to go
Mm-hmm.
high. And with my system, it's kind of so you start being a builder, no? And you might know this. I don't know what you like to play when you were a kid, but then you start doing something and then it fits together and you want to build something on top of these kind of things. So a lot of people extremely like this, I would say. So creating something. Um, and I did this the first month. I created a lot of stuff and put content in the system and connected my system with several tools that I used. And then in the second month, I saw start beginning, oh, yeah, the answers are getting better. And
Mm-hmm.
then in the third month, it was wow,
Mm-hmm.
because then it extremely helped me. It's got me much more productive than ever. I'm doing now a lot of things that I never did before, like really strategizing and road mapping what I'm doing and running experiments and kind of things like this. And at the moment, I have kind of two business in parallel running. As I said, this system building, coaching, let's say, and then I also doing still my training business. And over all the years, I wanted something beside my training business, but I had never time for do this because of too much trainings.
Mm-hmm.
But now I run kind of smoothly two business and doing also additional work on top what I never did before. So what I want to say, my productivity and also my creativity had an extreme boost after a while, of course, no? Of input that I gave and learning curve that I had, definitely.
Mm-hmm. So to summarize what you just said, it's an investment that will pay off. And what I hear, we are speaking about weeks or months, not years, correct?
Yes, yes. It's not years, I would say. Yeah. It already helped in the beginning, no? But it compounds over time, as we said before. Yeah.
Okay.
And then what is also very helpful, so that the output get much better. So the output that you directly get gets much better than the output that you would get when you use a chatbot, because then you typically start tweaking the output and tweaking and tweaking and tweaking until you think it's okay. Or you produce some kind of sloop. Now you take the first output, you're lazy, you push it to the next colleague. And this time extremely shrinks.
Mm-hmm. So definitely investment, right? Investment that quickly, relatively quickly pays off, I would say.
Yes.
Definitely, it's not an investment like doing masters in a certain area, right? It's
No,
more like
no. Yeah,
learning, but also doing while
yeah,
learning,
yeah,
so you can already start benefiting from the
yeah,
start,
yeah,
and you are just making it
yeah,
better and better.
yeah. And the capabilities you need to create these systems and to build this system, to develop this, so is decreasing. And I don't know how you see this, how it's in your market, but in Germany, it's like so Scrum Masters facing challenges, staying in their job, finding a new job, um, But I think that would be an excellent new stance that they could have, kind of AI catalyst or however we call it,
Mm.
leverage AI for the team to make the team more effective.
Mm. Oh, I love this one. I love this AI catalyst idea. I had good conversations like a couple of days ago, and Scrum Masters were indeed afraid. Like, okay, we are now learning AI to replace us, right? And what I hear from you, it's actually the opposite. Like, Scrum Master is expanding their skill set and stances to become more effective, but we are not aiming at replacing Scrum Master with AI completely.
Okay, I won't replace Scrum Masters. There might be companies that want to do this, but I think it's hard to replace a Scrum Master with an AI, especially when you have a Scrum Master who really focus on the effectiveness as a team and want to make the team better. That I would say is not the job of an AI. Only facilitating events or so, an AI helps, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
but still, again, it would not replace it, a Scrum Master. Yeah. Did this answer your question or your thought?
Yes, yes. Thank you. I've heard that we are safe, but we have to learn AI skills.
Everyone, I think, should learn AI skills personally or in the business, or if you do not have the chance to do this in your company, in your team, I would highly recommend everyone to get more skilled in this, because yeah, this is the future and it's already here.
Knocking to the door.
Yes. Yeah. And I also heard already about the trend. So I remember my first days when I got professional, I was kind of the only ones who know to write Java
Mm-hmm.
back in the 90s. And this was the way I entered into the job market. And these days, I would say it's a bit similar. So it's not so important what you did in the past or what subject matter expert you are. It's getting more and more important that you are fluent in using AI stuff, because the rest you also can do with then your AI.
Mm-hmm. And you can learn effectively with AI what is
Absolutely,
exactly needed when
absolutely,
needed,
yeah. And
right?
then of course also the better you are as a Scrum Master, you better then can leverage the AI to make then even better your team with the help
Yeah.
of the AI,
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't give all the answers right. No? It's still critical thinking and so on. And
Mm-hmm.
then thinking about what is the best thing then to do in this situation, also with my gut feeling and my heart and so on. Yeah.
Thank you for making that clear. So this human part is still valid, and we are not encouraging you to start any position with zero background because AI will do work, all the work for you. AI usage still requires powerful skills like uh, building this system, ability to communicate, critical thinking that Alex just mentioned.
Uh,
Those skills that they seem to be called a lot and often like human skills. I call them powerful skills, definitely not soft. I'm personally not a fan of calling them soft skills
okay. Yes.
because I believe they are becoming even more powerful in the era of AI, when you know how to challenge the answers that you get, when you can be a very critical partner in that process, then this makes you a great asset for the company. Because if you are not doing that, what's the point of hiring you? We can ask Claude or whatever is your tool directly, and we can accept, okay, this is the answer.
Yeah.
But your superpower is that you can collaborate with AI, and I feel sometimes we call it human in the loop. When it comes to this process, decision making, you remain accountable for decision making. And you know when you can accept and say, yeah, let's do it. And sometimes you can do completely the opposite to what AI is advising to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And there your competency is still important, whatever you do in a Scrum team, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, an AI can make a newbie a mediocre player, but if you are already very professional, then it makes you even more professional, I would say, because you have a new tool that you can use to work faster and get more creative ideas also, and
Mhm.
think about things you never thought before, kind of patterns that it finds for you and so on.
Yeah. Analyzing a lot of data.
Yes,
Sometimes
yes,
I met amazing people who are able to spot things, but our capabilities when it comes to reading and analyzing are limited. And
yeah,
now imagine AI
yeah,
is analyzing thousands of documents for you, gives you patterns, outliers, some interesting insights, and then you can use it to do your own thinking. Because I think is still a very very important aspect of our work, maybe
yes,
even more
yes,
important than it used to be.
yes. It's getting easier and easier to build anything, no?
Hmm.
So it's getting more and more important to know what to build.
Yeah, and what not to build.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And you can run a lot of more experience, I would say. So we
Hmm.
could enter somehow in an, I call it extreme agile way of working. But as you said, then it's still a human decision. So where the value is. So what do you want to build, let's say, in other words?
Hmm. Yeah. Alex, do you have any last advice or words of wisdom for
Or
our
words of
audience? Do you
wisdom?
have
I don't know.
something that, if there is only one thing that somebody can remember from that conversation, what
Oh,
would that be?
oh. Now you're stressing me, Joanna.
No,
Only
I'm
one
not.
thing
Come
that
on.
only one thing they should remember from that conversation. Not sure, maybe improve, use every moment or enjoy every moment and use it to continuously improve or so, something like this. And seeing AI as yeah, I like this partnership
Hmm.
model. So and integrate AI as a normal team member somehow. So embrace then kind of your new partner.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I love how you started. So I think it's a very important aspect of our life, not only professional life, but also our personal life.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alex. It was a pleasure to talk to you. I hope that our audience feels now inspired, interested. If you would love to contact Alex, you will find details in the description. If you want to contact me, you will also find valuable information in the description box. If you have any follow-up questions, anything that you would love to explore, feel free to leave comments. And I believe we can wish you now a very wonderful day. Please come back to me. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Joanna. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.